Hey, this is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Hey, this is a video series that is being made specifically for women, but men, I advise you to follow along. I think you're going to be surprised. Okay, I'm also going to leave a link either on the video or down in the description to click to go to the ladies page. Okay. Now the title of this series is going to be, let's see, it's Love and Understanding for Men and Women for Emotional Fulfillment. And this is number 1. Okay. So I've mostly geared my business to men, and the reason is because men are the ones who have to learn how to open up to the right brain. Whereas I've already said in my past videos, women are very fluid. They're very left and right because they have more nerves in the corpus callosum to connect the two hemispheres. Long story short, women can be logical in a moment, and a split second later be right brain, creative, spiritual, emotional, descriptive, etc. These are two different languages, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is give little bits and pieces of the core pieces of what's going on between men and women. Now, I know I've said this in a lot of videos, but this is geared for women, and I'm going to start from the basics, okay? Real simple. Men and women are communicating in two completely different languages, so that's number 1. Number 2, the way that men and women express their love and receive love is literally in two different ways that go in two opposite directions. And this causes a lot of chaos between men and women. It causes a lot of heartbreak. This course is going to show you something that you've never seen before. There is a way to teach men how to open up to the right brain to speak what's called the mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling internal language that fills your heart with love and emotional fulfillment. Now, there's another piece, but before I go on to that piece, ladies, what I want to suggest right off the bat, really early, is that you don't realize it, but men are not wired the way you are. They are not open to their right brain. You're going to hear a lot of men say, and I hear it all the time, and after they go about halfway through my course, they're like, oh, you mean that? Oh, I don't do that. It's like, yeah. Not only that, but a lot of men that say, oh, I'm very right brain, I'm very creative. Once they get to this point of communication, the right brain internal language, when I teach them how to communicate in that way, a lot of men simply would, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm like, why? It just seems so weird. I don't normally talk like that. I'd be fake. Well, if you learn to speak Spanish and you went down south of the border and spoke to someone in Mexico or wherever, and spoke Spanish, are you being fake, or are you learning how to speak a different language? That's what this is about. So what I'm suggesting, ladies, is that, and it's not just ladies, it's men too. Men and women are wired so differently that when we talk, when we express love, and when we approach romance, romantic situations, the way what men think is romantic is the opposite of what a woman thinks is romantic. And this is why a lot of ladies get really mad, upset, or at the end of a 3-hour date say, oh, I've got a headache, I've got to go home. Because he didn't romance you. He didn't open you up to your heart and give you emotional fulfillment, which, as we all know, leads to sex. All right? So the 3 pieces, the core pieces. Number 1, we are speaking 2 different languages. We are in 2 different parts of our hemisphere. As I said, with women, though, you can be left or right in a moment's notice. So number 1, 2 different languages. Number 2, we express love differently. And number 3, romantically, we are attracted, turned on, stimulated in that way in the opposite direction. And a lot of men, all right, let's do this. I'll wrap it up with this. Ladies, when you say I'm looking for a man who knows how to communicate, he's thinking the left brain, the logical, linear, rules, structure, organization, the right way to do things, right or wrong. And he'll say, oh, well, I even had a client say, well, I've got my master's degree in communication. I'm like, no, not left brain communication. I'm talking right brain, internal language. And he's like, oh. So number 1, when you speak out of your right brain, he is not hearing it from his right brain. He takes it and changes it, it processes it through his left brain, which is the linear processor. All right, so the other thing is, a lot of times you want to bond emotionally. He will climb a mountain. He will fight a battle. He will do anything to prove his love to you. Unfortunately, he's doing it in what's called the male external way, but you're looking for the female internal, inside, emotionally fulfilling. So he's buying cars. He's working hard, paying for the bills. You know, he'll work 60 hours, overtime, 70 hours to prove to you that he loves you, but you need emotional fulfillment through what's called right brain language. All right? I'm going to leave it at that. This is the first of a series of videos. This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Thank you.